Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Joey, also known as Hyrule Tech, and today I'm coming at you guys with a Nintendo video once again, this time on the ARMS Direct that happened today. So, for this discussion, reaction video, and to list our thoughts, I am joined by two people, the first of which is Captain Venton, also known as Eric.
Hey.
And I'm also joined by Venton Lapras. And, say hello
Hey
to the
guys.
people. That was good. I appreciated that.
Also known as Leader Lapras.
Also known as Leader Lapras. Okay, so, Eric, time to talk about this conference. It's pretty
Okay,
good.
so we're gonna start it off with the characters, right?
Yep,
Just straight off the bat.
straight off the bat.
My girl Twin Tail, right? Also known as Thick Tail, right? Ooh, I have a theory. I have a
What?
theory.
What's
You
your
know how her
theory?
name ends with Tail?
Yeah.
Tail? What if in reality it's just a slang spelling for tail, and that's why her pigtails are fists?
That's good. I like that. That was a good theory.
That's what I'm.
So basically, the reason we're going over characters first is the fact that there was 3 new characters announced today. Don't expect a lot of visuals and photos in this video. I might throw in a couple, but this is more of a podcast-like video where we just list our discussions and quick video to get it out to you guys in time, since this just happened a couple hours ago and we want to get this out quickly. So anyways, yeah, the first character announced was Twintel. She's already got a huge following. It seems like a lot of people really like her. Her description is a celebrity with hilariously large pigtails who is as ready for action as a hair fist wielding diva could be. She looks like an interesting character. I personally think her hair as her arms is a really unique thing, and it looks like her character in the game has like her own shoe line and her own clothing line, and she's gonna be like some cool celebrity. And with that, they also announced a new stage which had like movie cameras circling around while you're fighting, so that was actually pretty cool. Ant, what do you think?
Same, bro.
Yeah, you liked her?
Yeah.
All right, Eric, introduce the next character.
Okay, so the next character is gonna be my boy Kid Cobra.
Yeah, Kid
Alright.
Cobra was pretty cool.
Now, my boy Kid Cobra, he's kind of like a snake.
Yep.
He's kind of like, I don't know, he's kind of just like I hate to say a lizard, but he looks more like a lizard to me than a snake.
Yeah, he
But then you
looked
see
like a
the
cool
cobra on
character,
the
though.
back of his head. Yeah, he definitely looks like a real cool character.
He looks quick, agile. His description here is really short. It just says Kid Cobra, snake-like fight seeking notoriety. Wow, those are some big words. But
He
anyways,
he kind of looks like a cross between Scorpion and Reptile from Mortal Kombat.
yeah,
Maybe not the color scheme, but I mean it is a fighting game, so
yeah, no.
and the
he
whole
looked really
game is based
interesting.
on extending arms, so maybe the Scorpion thing is unnecessary to note, but that's
Right.
kind of what Scorpion does. He's like, get over here.
Yep. Okay. All right. Are you ready to hear my favorite? My favorite
Wait a
character.
minute, wait a
And
minute,
you
wait a
gotta-
minute. I have one thing to say.
Oh, okay.
One of his weapons, all right. I just want to let this be known. One of his weapons is known as the Hydra,
Yep.
and
Oh,
his
yeah.
name is King Kid Cobra, and so
They're pulling all
I
kinds of
think that's a
references.
nod. Yeah, it's a nod to GI Joe because isn't was the name like Cobra Corps? Was it like the group of the people, and then Hydra was like the leader or something like that, or was it
Hydra's a
person?
group from Marvel. It's the bad group in Marvel.
Well, then, what was Cobra? I swear somebody was named Cobra.
Well, there might be somebody named Cobra. I don't know. I'm not that up with G.I. Joe, but it was still cool.
I agree. It was pretty cool, dude.
Ant, do you have anything to say before we move on to the next character?
I think the overall design of the character is really cool, and yeah.
Okay. All right. Last character. Introduce this duo.
Okay, all right. We got my boy Bark, and we got my boy Bite.
Oh,
Right?
I love this.
He can bark the bark, but he can also bite the bite. You feel me? He can walk the
That's
walk
good.
and talk the talk.
That's a good. That's
I
a
think
good
that's the whole
quote.
point of the name.
So,
but,
do you want to explain this character?
I mean, I can explain it to him. So basically, he's like a dual character,
Yeah.
but it's only controlled by one person, similar to Ice Climbers in Smash, similar to
Oh.
Duck Hunt in Smash, Rosalina and Luma in Smash.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so basically, it adds like an extra punch, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I think
Yeah.
you
I
can
think it
explain
adds
it,
another
but-
fist. So you have 3 fists. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
so-
don't know exactly how it works. If there's a special button you press, but basically, so there's Bark, and it's a robotic cop, and you've got Bark, who's like the main guy, and then you've got Bite, which is like a dog head, and then their like special move is this really cool thing where like bite and his head goes on top of Bark, and they form into like some kind of like Super Power Rangers, Transformers crap, where they become one fighting force. And in the trailer, it looked amazing. It looked like
I
a lot of
agree.
fun.
It looked pretty darn cool.
So out of the three fighters announced today, I think my favorite was Bark and Bite. Eric, what
I
was
think
your favorite?
my favorite's Kid Cobra. That dude's looking clean. I love my girl Thick Toe, but
Yeah.
Kid Cobra's looking real clean in my opinion.
Ant, what do you think? What was your favorite character?
Um, my favorite character would be. I don't know. I like all three of them, to be honest.
Yeah, they were all cool characters to introduce.
Yeah.
All right, so the next thing we're going to get into, we're just going to go through these really quick. They announced a bunch of new modes. There's an ability to participate in party battles, as well as online lobbies up to 20 players. So basically, you can have 10 switches connected to one lobby at once, but each switch can have 2 players on it separately, so it's up to 20 players. There's this thing called team battles, which is really cool. You can get on teams, and then you fight other people from the other team, and you can do that in lobbies. My favorite thing that they announced out of the modes, besides the minigames, don't worry, we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, the minigames are tight. Yeah, the minigames.
My favorite thing was the 2v2, because there's 2v2 battles, and, that's cool, 2 people against 2 people, but the catch is that you and your teammate are tied together by a rope. So you can't, go around to opposite sides of the battlefield. You're tethered to each other. So each of your movements has to be with the other person. And the thing that they announced in the direct and they were talking about is the fact that you have to be careful with your moves, because if you're not communicating with your teammate at all, then you can punch your teammate and you'll actually still do damage to them. There is
Yeah, I think
friendly
that's pretty
fire.
cool.
And I really like
I
that
think the
because
only-
it causes a whole new level of strategy and ambition to the game, because you have to actually plan out with your teammate what you're going to do so you don't hit them and you gain up on the other team,
I think that's pretty cool, but I feel like there's gonna be an advantage if there's online 2v2 to people that are playing together on the same switch.
Oh, well,
And
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't know if there's gonna be an ability for 2 different switches to be together on a 2v2. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I
Or
feel
if
like
they're
the
gonna
only way to play
incorporate
this
maybe,
mode, if you want to be good at this mode, you have to play with somebody else in person.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the
Or
only
if there
way.
was if they had a mic kind of on Xbox or PS4 or whatever.
Right,
If you
right.
had a mic so you could communicate with the other person and be like, all right, go left, I'll go right, whatever you're doing.
Well, there's supposed to be their official Nintendo Online service, chatting app, and all that stuff coming this summer. So hopefully that's out by then. If not, I will find a way to talk to the person, and I won't do it unless I have a friend that I'm playing with, because it's just going to be too hard to communicate without that,
I agree.
All right, are you
Are we
ready?
moving on to the bread and the butter?
You know
The
it.
main course? And you wanna do this or you want me to do this?
Yeah, you can do this. You got this.
All right. So the main course of the meal is the mini games. The best part of the entire thing. Cobra and Twin Tail and Bite and Bark, they're cool and all.
Oh, yeah.
These new features are cool and all, but the mini games are really where it's at, in my opinion. So there are 3 new mini games. Well, I don't know. There's 2 really popular mini games. I don't know if the third one really is a mini game, but there's volleyball and basketball.
Yeah.
And then there's some skill practice thing where you can compete with other people, and you have to punch them more targets, kind of like whack-a-mole ish. Kind
there's
of.
targets that flip up in the air and your opponents are on the other side, and you have to punch through the targets, but then you can also do damage to your opponents on the other side.
Yeah, and you probably stun him and stuff. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. But I
Yep.
think the volleyball and the basketball for sure is where it's gonna be at in this.
Oh, it looks so cool. So which one do you want to explain, basketball or volleyball?
You can do volleyball.
Okay, so the volleyball one, what they did is, it's like volleyball, so you got 2 people on each side, or maybe even 1. I think you could have 1 as well. I don't think it has to be 2-player. But the advantage here is that you can throw your arms onto the other side of the net. So you can go to the other side of the net and hit the ball into the ground to score on the other team. So you're using whatever character you want, and they all have their different stats and the speed of their throws and their fist throws and the power behind it and stuff like that. So all of that has to be strategically done. And I know that the biggest complaint right now and worry is that the motion controls aren't going to work. First off, you can play without motion controls. You can just play with the controller if you want. But I have heard that the motion controls in this game work so well, it doesn't even feel like you're using motion controls because it's so responsive, and they've really executed well on that. There was actually a preview that went up on IGN just a couple hours ago. Jose Otero put it up, because he went hands-on with the game early, apparently at some special event or whatever that was closed off to the media. But he said that it controls very, very well. And I think that I'll probably make a video relating to ARMS at some point in time. I'll discuss it later, involving that. But yeah, so the volleyball mode looks fun. The other mini game that looks very fun is
A basketball, and this is gonna be super cool. Because for the basketball, it's not just regular basketball. We're not just shooting hoops. I mean, if it was like some 2K, that'd be pretty darn cool. Like it'd be, what's that game, like NBA Live 2005, where you're like dunking on people from half court and stuff. Like it could be like that with the super long arms, but no, your opponent and yourself are the ball basically. And so that sounds really weird at first, but you can basically hit your opponent with a combo, reach your arms out as they're stunned, grab them, and do a windmill 360 dunk with them into the hoop.
Or you could shoot a 3 with them. You could take them and throw them into the hoop for a 3.
Exactly. You can do. I don't know if there's gonna be like some real fouls. I don't know what's gonna go down. Like free throw shooting, I have no idea how it's gonna really work. I just know it looks awesome.
It looks like crazy fun, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like super fun if you're like at like a party with some friends.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whatever, even online, like you're just dunking random people you don't even know into the hoop. Like, what could be better than that?
Oh yeah. I think my favorite part about it is that it reminds me heavily of Rocket League and what Rocket League has done by, with racing games, how it turned all of this stuff into different cool mini games that they could do.
Yeah.
And with this, it's just like that, but they're doing that with the fighting genre, and now they're bringing all this different stuff because of what ARMS is. It's a fighter game, but it's also going to be like something that people can just pick up, but then, the arms are long and can reach things, so that's how you can do volleyball, and it's just really cool. Now, there was one other mode that they announced that I didn't put in the notes because we forgot about it, but I'm actually really excited about this too. They showed off, like, this campaign type thing. I don't know how much of a quote-unquote campaign it's going to be, but basically it's this mode where you have to fight. There's one where you're fighting, it's like 100 men. Remember that one that they showed off?
Yeah.
Where there's like enemies that flow down in like a constant flow, and you have to take them out, and you have to try to beat all 100. And then there was another mode where you faced off against different fighters, and then there's a mystery fighter who's like the final boss. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a quote-unquote campaign mode, but I'm not worried about not having enough content to play in this game, because the basketball and the volleyball mode alone, I'm probably going to spend more time in that than the actual fighting. But if that isn't even enough for you, they're also doing ranked play, where you can rank up and you have a certain rank from going online, so you can play casually or you could play in the ranked mode too. So there's a lot of diverse content within this one game, and on top of that, they also announced that if you buy the game, you're getting all the free content. There's no paid DLC, so you get free fighters, you get free stages, free costumes, new arm upgrades, all kinds of stuff, all for free.
Yeah.
And I love this approach. I love this DLC approach. I hate paid DLC. I will always prefer free DLC because it's incentivizing the people who took a chance on your game and have paid for it up front,
Yeah, I know, and you haven't really talked much yet, but I just have one more point. I think they kind of started this with the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where they sort of are just giving you all the DLC, and they're adding in all these random battle modes and minigame modes just out of nowhere, and I really like that, how they're just like trying so many new different things in so many different games.
Yeah.
Obviously, battle mode in Mario Kart isn't necessarily a new thing, but they were able to bring it back and make it better in the Deluxe version.
Oh yeah, there's so many things that make Deluxe worth it, just off the bat. Alright, one last thing before we get to our overall impressions, and then we close this out. So, they also announced an ARMS Global Test Punch. There's the test fire that they did for Splatoon and Splatoon 2, where it's like an early beta into the game to stress test the servers, and it's like for an hour increment, so from like 6 to 7. So, the official times for that is May 26th at 6 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time. All these will be in Mountain Daylight Time. 6 a.m. on the 27th, as well as noon and 6 o'clock on that same day. On the 28th, 6 a.m. and noon. June 2nd, 6 p.m. June 3rd, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. and June 4th, 6 a.m. and noon. So there's plenty of opportunities to jump into this game early. You can already download the test fire ahead of time, so as soon as it opens up during that hour, you can be playing and playing and playing. Hopefully the servers hold, but they have been holding lately, and I heard that Splatoon 2's test fire was a hell of a lot better than Splatoon 1's test fire, so that's really good. I'll probably make a video based off of my impressions on that, with maybe, I don't have an Elgato, so I don't do straight gameplay, but maybe I'll set up a camera so I can stand up and you can see the TV and also see my motions punching and stuff like that, just so you guys can see what this game is like ahead of time, so look for that. So that's the last thing I want to talk about.
Alright, y'all. So, from what we've seen, these game modes are looking pretty lit, but what do you think is going to be your favorite game mode to play out of the volleyball, basketball, 100-round challenge thing? Like, what do you think you're gonna play the most?
I feel like I'm gonna play the volleyball most. The volleyball and the basketball, they look like the funnest out of the modes we saw, you know?
Yeah. What do you think, Ant?
Basketball mode for sure.
Yeah, I feel
all the time.
yeah. If I get a Switch, I feel like the basketball one for sure. But if it ever got boring, I think I'd probably get pretty into ranking because that seems like a game that'd be fun to play competitively.
Yeah.
Just because, playing competitively. A lot of games I like playing competitively, but if you were to play a really wacky fighting style game like that, I feel like it'd be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah,
But
I totally agree.
Same.
Yeah, I feel like it could definitely, similar to Pokemon, how you have lots of tournaments all over the country, I feel like, and the world, I feel like ARMS could definitely be one of those new up-and-coming games that kind of get popular on a competitive level.
Absolutely.
Moving on to our final impressions, what is your overall feel for the game? What do you feel?
Side
Like-
note, the soundtrack is amazing. I love the soundtrack. It's very fun. I was going to buy this game before the Direct. I was just seeing the Direct to, see what I was buying. I'm more excited for this game than I was before the Direct. And, I was already buying it before, so that says a lot. They blew me away, and I'm thrilled. The only thing I'm disappointed in is I wish that there was Amiibo. Because I would buy them all. I'd buy all the Amiibo.
Yeah,
But
the Amiibo
I'm looking
would
forward to
definitely
it.
be cool. What do you feel, Aaron? What's your overall impression of the game? You like it, dislike it?
Dude, my overall impression of the game is that I like it.
Yeah, I kind
Looks pretty good.
of.
I mean, the graphics look pretty good. The gameplay, well, from what I saw, character design, I think everything about it would be pretty good. Once I get a Switch.
Yeah, I think everything's gonna be good, especially on a new console to start fresh like this.
Oh, yeah.
It could. It's definitely a good way to start. I feel.
Absolutely.
It's definitely the complete opposite impression I got of Splatoon 2. the
won't talk about
complete
it.
opposite.
We
We won't talk about that right now.
All right.
But
Well, thank you guys for watching. This has been a nice little lengthy video. Let us know down in the comments what your impression is of this game, if you're picking it up or not. Expect more content on the channel soon. This has been Joey with Hyrule Tech, with friends.
my boy, leave the Lapras here
And Captain Venton.
and Captain Vincent. I don't know who Captain Vincent is, but I'm leave the Lapras. So
I'm Captain Vincent.
yeah, I'll catch y'all later.
Yeah,
Make sure you
see
leave a
that.
like and subscribe. Make sure you do that. Help
Make
my
sure.
boy out.
Make sure.
Also make sure you check out my channel at Vincent Lapras.
Don't
There you
do a
go.
shameless plug like that.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.